Good afternoon. Let's see what shakes loose. Once again, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is Black Spring with Autumn on your Sunday. It is July 28th, 2024. Hope you guys are doing well out there, and I want to thank you guys so much, as always, for being here. And also, I wanted to bring up just a couple of points. I came in earlier today and I talked just a little bit about just some of the comments or some of the responses that are coming back from people that are viewing the 2024 Olympics in Paris, the Paris 2024 Olympics. So today I kind of wanted to come back on this. I think this is very pivotal subject. I think there's a pivotal point here that I intend to that I would like to I'd like to argue here. Okay, and on this channel, per usual, if all of my biblical scholars, not just biblical scholars, but those of you that are that are well versed in the word, and that you know that you don't just know it, you know where you know where things you understand the interworkings, and you know on a different level. Okay, you have a different level of awareness. You actually have a relationship at this point, wherever you are, wherever you're comfortable. And of course, it's not limited to those who are um, whether you refer to yourself as a Christian or whatever. If you whatever you refer to yourself as, or whatever you, of course, you may chime in on this channel. I'll chime in on this topic. So, but before we get to that, let's keep our status in mind and we'll get right into it. Thanks so much for tuning in. Okay, thank you so much again for tuning into this segment of Black Spring with Autumn. I really appreciate it. So, what I wanted to do was I talked a little bit earlier about some of the symbolism that's been brought out. Some of the I talked a little bit about I mentioned the architecture, a lot of the European architecture, but also there's architecture in America that's pretty much aligned with a lot of the Roman culture. You have architecture. You have, even in France, you have architecture that reflects the time, like 19th century, 18th century architecture. But a lot of those elements and those structures were influenced by, dare I say, ancient Rome, or mythological characters, or mythological symbolism, or mythological spiritual aspects. Okay, so I want to show you, the title of this dream is called Gaslighting. Okay, so my question is, for those of you watching a replay, are we being gaslit? Are we being gaslit everywhere? Are we being gaslit in our commercials? TRUMP speeches are, to me, there's a level of, I'm not sure if it's a voice, an AI, Sora voice generation that's happening. Brian Kilmeade, I noticed that on, of course, on the other Alphabet network Fox News, which of course these networks are all playing the game. So some people, oh yeah, you know what, so and so that back during the pre BIDEN, step down on the campaign. Oh, people, oh, the CNN's telling the truth. I can't believe my ears. But listen, it's a game, okay? And even Fox plays the game. Fox to me is very much, they're not pro Trump, okay? They are not, no matter what they say. All right, but aside from that, so we've got some voice generated, some voice generated AI, or some Sora AI voice generation going on, I believe. And I want to show you that in this particular commercial. And then I could probably also go to that example in which Brian Kilmeade is they're saying, oh, he said colored sorority. He's making a comment about Kamala Harris and her investment and time, working with, her entanglements with the HBCU, because if I'm not mistaken, I believe she has an honorary. Sorry for that. An honorary AKA membership. I believe it's honorary. If I'm not mistaken, it is. Because if I'm not mistaken, it is. If I'm not, I stand corrected. But right. Okay, so let's keep going here. So what I said all that to say, let me bring you back in here. Let's go ahead and look at, there's a commercial that there's a lot of commercials that I think they're doing predictive programming, or they're normalizing what's to come, or they're normalizing structures, social constructs that we're already a part of. We think that we're removed, or we think that we're evolved, but actually we're just an iteration of, I talk about it all the time, ancient Rome. I talk about ancient Rome all the time. Let's go to this particular commercial. Let me know what you think in the comment section about if you've seen this commercial or not. You may not have. So I want to go ahead and show it to you. They may copyright strike me, but it's got a little bit of a catchy tune to it. It's a little bit of a catchy tune. It's called Live Large with the Credit One Bank Platinum ×5. Okay. So I'm going to put you on that. Okay. So in this commercial, I don't want to play the audio. Fair use. I need to start putting that up. Fair use. This particular commercial, you're going to see some imagery here in which I think we're looking at a Julius Caesar type, but I think there's somebody wrote on the actual commercial Nephilism, they wrote something like that on there. But I'm also going to put up this little moniker before I do that. So I'm going to show it to you, because I think you're always kind of reminded of the constructs that were set before by other societies, other civilizations. And many might even argue, I might even argue to some, from what we see, maybe Rome did not fall. It did that's another point I'm about to get on to. And there's a point that I want to try to draw to the actual Olympics. All of these are constructs that never really died. Okay. They never really died out. So let's go ahead and show you that. So here it is. All right, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And here we go. So this is called Live Large with the Credit One Bank Platinum 5 ×5. Okay, so I'm not sure if they're going to try to do me or not, but so this is what you have here. Okay, it's Me and My Friends is what it's called. So you see how you've got, I'll go ahead and play the whole thing through. Then I want to tell you about the advertisement. Okay, so before we get into this, okay, so as you can see, you've got this gigantic Roman looking. I'm not sure. To me, he's looking more like he's acting as a god. He's acting as a god of what I don't know, but he also looks a little bit like he's somewhere between Julius Caesar, a Roman god, and I don't know what else. I don't know what else he's trying to achieve here. But as you can see, these people are. It's like they've kind of got there's a subliminal message going on here that you can have all these things if this is like take you to the mountaintop kind of thing. You can have all these things and all this convenience and somebody's got your back, or you're always going to have a helping hand, or always rely on the Credit One Bank Platinum times 5 times Visa rewards card. Okay. And also here, I'll play it a little bit more. Then we'll go back to the actual marketing here. It says life is better with the credit. This is the part that I want you to hear. This is where I'm talking about the voice generated nonsense that's going on these days. I heard. Tell me what you think you heard. I'm not gaslighting you, but I think we're being gaslit all the time. Okay. But if we question it, we're what? The CTs. So I'm going to bump this back just a smidge here. So you can see, these people are living their lives, and you've got this guy's raking his yard, raking his leaves, and this huge giant is blowing the leaves. So here it comes.
Life is better with the credit gods on your side.
Okay, did you hear what? I don't know if anyone's out there. Did you hear what they just said? They said life is better with the credit gods. Or could I say he said credit cards? If you see the closed caption says, if you see the subtitles says life is better with the credit cards. But what did you hear? You see, the same thing has been happening on the alphabet news networks when they get ready to stir the pot, when these boulets and all these people want to stir the pot about color, yes, they want to stir the pot. They say Brian Kilmeade said Kamala was ranting on and on. She's spending all this time dealing with the colored sororities, which it's argued that he said college sororities. Let me see if I can bring that one to you. He's under fire even from the round Roland Martin. So yes, so I just want to bring that in here just for a second. Do you see how? But I'm saying the gaslighting is it gets to be, it's obvious to me. But if you just read the subtitles, you will see what they said versus what what the actual subtitle says versus what the audio said. Okay, so I might have to minimize this for a second. Hold on a minute, guys. Thank you guys so much for your patience. But yeah, I just couldn't help myself to go through this one. So if you can see this on your screen, I had to move that out of the way. I'm going to back this up. So you see how there's an undertone that the Greek and the ancient Romans civilization, or that their hand is in our lifestyle. Some of our things are our lifestyle, our cycles in this life are still regulated under a lot of ancient Roman, a lot of their constructs. Okay, so let's bump this back just a second. But you see how they're not really hiding anything. Watch this. Okay, here we go.
Life is better with the credit gods on your side.
Did you see? Okay. I don't know if you guys heard that. It says life is better with the credit gods is what I heard on the audio. But then when I played it back, when I showed the subtitle says life is better with the credit cards on your side. Once available to few, but now accessible to many. Okay, you see that? How they kind of want to make you feel like, oh, well, now you plebes can have you can have things that the elite have. They're always doing this, trying to make you feel like you're being, you're getting bumped up a level, or you're upgrading somehow. You're like where you rank in the scheme of things. You're with all of this, but it just really shows the more compliant that you are is what it actually does. Hope you guys are doing well out there. So this is the Credit One Bank. Okay, Credit One Bank. So I see. So there you got your ancient Roman character right there. I don't know. I don't think he sees. I mean, the reason I said Caesar is because of this, the headpiece there. Okay, so let me go through that. And then I want to show you, the next thing I wanted to talk about was the whole thing, the concept of the flames going on here. I've seen some of these images from the Paris 2024 Olympics, and even just from the lighting of these things. I mean, that's why it's getting a little bit disingenuous for people to keep being stunned by this, which, the Vesta was an actual god of hearth and home. So they actually used that particular flame was not to go out, or they would say, "Oh, the wrath of the gods would be upon us." Well, what do you think they're doing by lighting a cauldron in Paris? The entire Olympic, the whole Olympic ceremony itself, to me, is a ritual. It always has been. Torch carrying. They carry the torch to the cauldron. But what they don't tell you, who's keeping that flame burning? Because that's why I was wanting my people that are biblically sound to come in here and tell me, what does it say? What does the Bible say about the flame on the altar? I think is it Leviticus, where there's one in Revelation. I'm just saying, but all of this stuff is not new. You can't, I think with me being, I'm not where we're all in different places in our study of the word, but this stuff, it's not new. Okay. Ecclesiastes, there's nothing new under the sun. And this Olympics, the Olympics in itself they've always presented these rituals. They've always presented a flame. They always have, but it's more ancient. Ancient Rome's civilization definitely had a sacred flame of Rome, and it was protected, and it was used for a source of sacrifice. It was also, of course, it was considered a symbol of protection. And see, this is all this kind of symbolism. There's probably a ton more could be revealed about the Olympics, but who could be surprised? I mean, they sacrifice things. If you do this, I'll promise you my estate at Delphi, or hey, I'll sacrifice 100 bulls to honor your triumph. That is the essence. That is the essence of the Olympics. You're sacrificing something to keep going up the level, right? You're also complicit. The more you do, the higher you go, the harder you fall. That's another thing. That song, that's exactly what it is. Not only the higher you climb, the more complicit. The bigger the sacrifice. So that's the way I see this whole thing with the Olympics. It's steeped in ancient Roman culture. The burning flame, the cauldron, Snoop Dogg. I mean, seriously, Snoop Dogg has been elevated. Of course he can carry, because you were selected. You were, even in ancient Rome, you had to be of a certain family. You were a certain class, of a certain family, a certain class, to even be allowed to protect, and to even be allowed to even be around, to enter that room, that sacred, quote, sacred space. So to me, this situation, all of these things are going on. There's nothing new under the sun here. That's what I'm saying. But they created a game. They created games. And I'm sure some of you guys have deconstructed those 5 rings and all this stuff, people that do all of that. There's somebody out there that's your niche. that's your domain. But I'm just saying is it's very much, this is very much to me a spiritual slash religious symbol from the ancient civilizations, okay, leading to back then what was called a sacred fire. But to me, it's the same spirit. They talk about the spirit of the Olympics. What do you think it is? Okay, so back in the day, of course, according, the fire was considered an agent of purity and a symbol of righteousness and truth. And it's an altar for the offerings of sacrifices and prayers. So, yes, you can expect to see more of that at the Olympics. In fact, if you've been watching the Olympics all your life since you were a kid, you've been watching this for years. That's exactly what's going on. All right. So, like I said, let me go ahead and open up one of these. I wanted to open up, and then the gaslighting is okay. The other thing was that another day they were talking about, oh, Trump said, oh, I'm not a Christian. So I figure, okay, so either here we go again with another one of these AI voice generated kind of Sora kind of affected clips, or you're being gaslit, or you're going to be gaslit about, oh, he said he was a Christian. Oh, he said it wasn't. I'm like, well, maybe it's assimilated speech or slang or Ebonics. Well, it's one or two ways. Either he said I'm not, or he says I'm a, which is this basically the putting together of three words, I am a, into one, and then it comes out. The sound bite sounds like I'm not. Or did he say I'm? But this is the kind of thing. The Roland Martins and all these people, everybody's going to just keep gaslighting about this, gaslighting about that, which maybe did this commercial just gaslight you? Life is better with the credit gods? Or did they say the credit cards? Are they saying it because they don't want to get censored? I saw a person offer that up the other day. They offered a totally different word when somebody said something about the elections. And instead of the word STOLEN, they said it was door. Unless the election was door rather than STOLEN. So I'm saying there's a lot I think that's going to continue to happen. I don't know of course, what the motivation is behind it, but you'll start to notice. So I think for me, I'm probably going to start putting on the subtitles more often just to see how bad they want to gaslight. Let's see just how much of a stir. It's not so much, nobody is the truth of the matter. It's more important what the reaction. They're trying to get something out of you. They're trying to get something out of you with what's actually, they want you to receive what actually comes out rather than they want you to receive as close to what they want you to hear coming out versus maybe, the untampered, the unabridged, or the whatever you want to call it. Okay, let's try one more. So I just wanted you guys to see, that whole thing that's going on there. But yeah, so I'm waiting to see more people coming out with more images from the Olympics. They might even try to gaslight on something that the almighty Snoop Dogg. See, here's the next thing. My mind took me here. Was the next thing they're going to do is twine. I'm surprised they have not twined Snoop Dogg to the Boule Q Dogs group, right? Why hasn't he been twined to that? Why hasn't Snoop Dogg been twined to the Q Dogs fraternity? Why not? Why has he not been twined to his Omega Sci-Fi? Why has he not been twined to that? I'm just saying the deity, okay? Because a lot of whether these people realize not, they're embodying when they're out here barking around. When they're out here barking around, could that be what Snoop Dogg was doing? Also, was that what he was doing? Was that what he was doing? Embodying, or he was actually, embodying the deity of the Omega Sci-Fi, Anubis? I'm just waiting on it. Why hasn't that happened just yet? Why has it not? Just curious. Because he's lived under that moniker for so many years. Why has he not twined it or hitched it to the subconscious of more, quote, melanated or black people? Why not? I'm just asking. Anubis is the deity. Okay, you remember the girl that came out not too long ago, the Boule, what was it? The Delta Sigma Theta, Minerva. I don't know what the embodiment of that is, of that deity is, but they all do all of these dances and rituals, and they all do something that embodies the spirit. They all they do something vocal. They all do something. And I don't know them all. That's not what I'm not a part of that. But I'm just saying. But you look at, I think that I've seen elephants represented by one of those groups. I've seen a cat represented by, and I'm just thinking, is it Greek? Is it Greek, or is it, which there's a lot of people out there that argue that the Egyptians stole something from Babylon, and then it just so on and so on and so forth. Some of these traditions, these cultures and things. So I'm wondering, are they going to say that the Greeks actually took that from the Egyptians? Who, how this rabbit hole can get. I'm just curious. I'm telling you, these things can get, whew, if you had the time, you could really go down the rabbit hole. I mean, to me, I'm surprised no one, and I'm not saying it's not out there, that no one has made like just crazy content on the hitching of these sororities and frats and these deities, and the embodiment of these deities and these dances. And it's just if you just look at it, looks transitory. It's intoxicating, very intoxicating, and to me, very dark. Okay. So yeah, so let me go with this little clip from Kilmeade. And of course, you got these folks up here ready to gaslight nonstop about, well, he said this, he said colored. He said colored. Okay, so let's see if I can find this one and not make it too painful. And then I'm going to get out of here. I will not torture you with the TRUMP on the I'm a Christian, I'm not a Christian one. Okay, I'll try to save you that one. Okay, let's just go. I just can't. It depends on who do you want to take this from. Who do you want to take it from? Because he was actually sitting on the 5. Okay. All right, so let me pull it up here really quickly. I think hopefully it's a short version. Hold on just a second. I'll get you through here. We're going to share this one with you, and then we'll get out of here. But I really appreciate it. Let's see. What do we have?
Way through speeches, people know couldn't go more than better, right? Yep, couldn't go more than 15 minutes. She's very good on the prompter. No one even doubted that. She had 3,000 people there. Why are they there? A lot of them have to do with, hey, I'm a Democrat. I thought we were going to go down in flames. Now we have a shot. The problem with Kamala Harris, number one, she has not had a record exploited heavily because people thought and marginalized her. Even in the Democratic Party, they said, man, what a bad choice Joe Biden made. Number two is she hasn't sat down for an interview. When she sits down in an interview and says, do you want to fund ICE? Where do you stand on Medicare for all? Why didn't you show up? The most recent decision, already you got a question. She will not show up for the prime minister's joint session of Congress today. She'd rather address in the summer a sorority, a college sorority.
Okay, there you go. There it is. I'm going to bump it back one more time. There it is, because I was, well, to me, that's all she has is fluff and tough. Fluff. That's what she needs to be. She's got to be pumped up without any substance, because there's not a lot there. There's just not.
A sorority, a college sorority.
Okay, so here it is.
Sorority, a college sorority.
Colored or collared? There's your gaslight.
A college sorority. Like she can't get out of that.
So this is, you got the Roland Martins and all the talking heads doing their thing.
Sorority, a college sorority. Like
so for one, that guy's got a bit of I don't know whether it's an accent or what. People, I don't know whether he's from New York. I don't know where he's from. I don't really care. I'm just saying that, do you see how this is becoming a very common thing? So like I said, let's try this just for kicks. I'm going to put these subtitles on and see if you'll get it, if it does the same thing. For your gaslighting pleasures, ladies and gentlemen. So let's see if like the Credit One Bank commercial saying that with credit gods on your side, but when the subtitles clearly says with credit cards on your side. Let's see what the subtitle says here about Kamala Harris versus the kill meat scandal here, the kill meat outrage.
There's a joint session of Congress today. She'd rather address in the summer a sorority, a college sorority.
Okay, so there you go. College, it says, the subtitle says he said college sorority. It says he said college sorority. Now, the media says he said colored sorority. So you see what I mean? This is going to happen more often. So I'm going to just make it my business to put on the captions just so I can see how much more regularly this is going to occur. In fact, people are out here creating have you guys seen the DEI commercial that's been made? And then they're like, did somebody ask a question? Where did they even get her voice? She's, according to him, kill me. She's not taking a lot of interviews or sitting down with actual leaders, but she's spending her time elsewhere. So, give me 1 second here. Hope you guys are doing well out there. Thank you so much for coming back. But yeah, I just had to, let's see. It's a commercial that she's a self-professed DEI hire. So there again, there's another gaslight. Okay, so DEI hire, DEI Kamala Harris. It's a campaign. It's a campaign commercial. Campaign video. So let's see. I promise this is gonna be this is gonna be the last one. The last one. Let's see. Okay. You see, we're in that time, right? We're in that time in which we cannot believe. Okay, so let's see. I need to find that. I need to find it really quickly. I'm sorry, guys, but the gaslighting is it's powerful. It's very it's going to be tiresome is would be my bigger concern is how tiresome it is. Okay, it's going to be that. Let's see. Okay, so let's see if I can bump it back far enough to. Okay, all right. So I think I found it. Okay, let's see if we can get this one to work. This little. Okay, so this little. Okay, let's bump it back here. All right. I'm not familiar who this guy is. Kingdom Reacts. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to put the subtitle, le sous-titre. I'm going to put that on right now and see so you can see. So she says, "Oh, I'm Kamala Harris." Da, 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 da. Okay, here you go.
and your Democrat candidate for president because Joe Biden finally exposed his senility at the debate. Thanks, Joe. I was selected because I am the ultimate diversity hire. I'm both a woman and a person of color. So if you criticize anything I say, you're both sexist and racist. I may not know the first thing about running the country, but remember, that's a good thing if you're a deep state puppet. I had 4 years under the tutelage of the ultimate deep state puppet, a wonderful mentor, Joe Biden. Joe taught me rule number 1, carefully hide your total incompetence. I take insignificant things and I discuss them as if they're significant. And I believe that exploring the significance of the insignificant is in itself significant.
Talking about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time, and there is such great significance to the passage of time.
Another trick is trying to sound black. I pretend to celebrate Kwanzaa, and in my speeches, I always do my best Barack Obama impression. So hear me when I say, I know Donald Trump's tight. And okay, look, maybe my work addressing the root causes of the border crisis were catastrophic, but my knowledge of international politics is truly shocking.
The United States shares a very important relationship, which is an alliance with the Republic of North Korea. It is an alliance that is strong and enduring.
And just remember, when voting this November, it is important to see what can be unburdened by what has been. And by what has been, I mean Joe Biden.
Okay. All right, guys. I'm sorry. I could not help myself. I just had to show you. Okay, so I will say this much. At least on that particular, that was a gaslighting sample example. That was exhibit number 3 for today. So I wanted to see if the subtitles on that particular commercial were going to be opposite of what she was saying. So I'm just saying this is all very interesting in where, the way the media drives things and the way that AI, Sora, the voice generated AI is going to be able to step in and you might not even know where the alleged, if you're playing the game, where's the attack coming from? I don't know. We don't know yet, but stay tuned. I appreciate you guys so much per usual. And thank you guys so much for coming in. And leave your comments in the replay. Do you think that we are being gaslit at 2024 Paris Olympics? Are we being gaslit by the media, by the talking heads, by the pundits? And certainly Caroline Jean-Pierre is no exception. She gaslights all the time. But she actually believes her own nonsense. She believes her own lies. And she's exciting with her lies. I think that's what makes it. What she says is her lies are supposed to mean something, okay? They're just supposed to mean something. But here's the thing, okay? Even if you're a big go team red, go team blue, whatever you think you are, whether you're an independent, people, it's sad that I think this is what happened I see people making, if this is about strategizing or winning or trying to think that you're winning or your team's winning, why does it seem like people think that laughing at Kamala Harris is actually winning an election? They think creating merch for their YouTube subscribers is winning elections. But then it's only going to count, the person that counts the votes is actually going to determine the winner once again. So I'm just saying I think who knows? You cannot underestimate these political whatever engineers. You cannot, if you think you can overestimate or you can underestimate what's going on, then that's going to be, you'll be to your surprise. You'll be just as surprised as you were in 2020. So I want to thank you guys so much per usual. So keep an eye on that 2024 Olympics and you see more remnants of ancient Rome. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think about the lighting of a cauldron, aka the sacred flame of Rome, ancient Rome. Very, very selected people are allowed to light that flame and to keep that flame burning. And the question to me is, who keeps it burning who keeps it burning when the Olympics is over? Does it burn out? Or does it continue to burn? Or does it continue to burn until the next cycle? All right, guys, have a great rest of your Sunday. Let's see, I'm going to do a couple of thanks and then we're going to get out of here. This program is brought to you in part by our sponsors and our viewers like you. AZ Infidel, Derek C. Williams, Melinda, Marcy T, TDOA, Freedom's March, Independent Many United, Joseph Francis Burton, Luciano, Zero the Infinite, Uncool Paranoia, and Anarchy Television. We'll be right back right after this. All right, guys, thanks so much. And I will see you the next time on Black Spring with Autumn. And we'll see what shakes loose.